Welcome to Time for Gardening, where timeless garden charm blooms in every season. Today we're taking you on a breathtaking walk through the enchanting cottage gardens of Mackinac Island, a place where vintage charm and summer blooms create an unforgettable sensory escape. This magical island is known for its flower-drenched walkways, whimsical garden borders, and a pace of life that lets nature take center stage. From fragrant roses to fluttering delphiniums, every corner holds a story waiting to be told. We'll explore classic layouts, color palettes, and plant pairings that make Mackinac Island a dream destination for cottage garden lovers. If you adore lush, layered blooms and a touch of nostalgia, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment sharing your favorite garden moment from today's tour. Let's begin our journey into vintage summer bloom bliss. As we stroll past the picket fences of Mackinac's quaint homes, you'll notice how front yard cottage gardens set the tone for each property. These compact, overflowing beds are filled with coral bells, echinacea, and dainty foxgloves peeking through iron gates and white lattice. Each yard feels like a personal floral greeting card, brimming with personality and charm. Gardeners here lean into old-fashioned appeal, choosing heirloom varieties and letting plants mingle freely. The magic lies in the imperfections, a rose leaning into a pathway, or a lavender spike brushing a weathered bench. These small moments of floral spontaneity define the Mackinac aesthetic. Pair that with the crisp lake breeze and pastel-painted porches, and you've got the recipe for garden joy. One of the most iconic visuals in a Mackinac cottage garden is the climbing rose-covered arbor. These structures are not only functional but deeply romantic, guiding you into secret garden corners or shaded rest spots. Soft pink new dawn roses and buttery yellow golden showers arch over pathways, inviting visitors into a fragrant floral tunnel. The arbors are often painted in coastal white or pale seafoam, harmonizing with the island's Victorian palette. Underneath, hostas and astilbes thrive in partial shade, completing the dreamy effect. It's no wonder these spots are frequent photo stops and engagement backdrops. For anyone designing a small romantic garden, this is inspiration worth borrowing. Mackinac gardeners have mastered the wild yet curated cottage look. You'll find native blooms like black-eyed Susans and Joe Pye weed dancing among more traditional perennials like hollyhocks and campanulas. This intentional wildness honors the natural spirit of the island, while keeping the texture and rhythm that cottage gardens are known for. These beds are a haven for pollinators, with buzzing bees and fluttering butterflies adding motion to every frame. Paths are often unpaved, simply gravel or mulch, making the walk feel organic and connected to the earth. The color story leans toward sun-washed hues, peach, plum, blush, and cornflower blue, mirroring a vintage watercolor painting. It's rustic elegance at its finest. No garden tour here is complete without the lush, pillow-like presence of hydrangeas in full summer bloom. You'll spot both mophead and lacecap varieties, often lining porches and fences with their billowy clusters in shades of periwinkle, powder blue, and antique rose. On Mackinac, gardeners use hydrangeas to soften structures, tucking them along pathways beside rock walls or beneath windows. The older the shrub, the better. It brings that aged, rooted feel that makes a cottage garden sing. Mixed with ferns and shade-loving foxgloves, hydrangeas add drama without stealing the show. It's an essential element of the island's garden identity. Porches play a huge role in Mackinac's cottage gardens, often doubling as mini gardens themselves. You'll find vintage containers bursting with geraniums, petunias, and ivy spilling from milk pails, tin buckets, and wooden crates. This creative use of vessels reflects both the resourcefulness and aesthetic charm of cottage-style gardening. Each pot tells a story, often curated to match the home's color scheme or floral theme. Gardeners here favor a full spilling look. No minimalist compositions in sight. It's all about joyful abundance, right down to the tiniest terracotta pot perched on a stair. Whether you're working with a balcony or a full front porch, these ideas are pure gold. Among the most enchanting scenes on our walk are the peony-lined pathways and sky-reaching Delphinium towers. Peonies bloom like ruffled clouds in blush, magenta, and soft white, marking the early summer season with unmatched grace. In contrast, delphiniums rise tall and proud, adding vertical drama with their electric blues and purples. The combination is pure eye candy and gives depth to even narrow garden beds. These classics are well loved for a reason. They offer reliability, charm, and irresistible fragrance. Many of the island's gardeners plan their bloom calendar around this pairing to create unforgettable floral waves. Not all magic happens in the sun. Mackinac's cottage gardens also tuck beauty into the shadows with lush shade garden layers. Beneath century-old trees and Victorian pergolas, you'll find ferns, bleeding hearts, hellebores, and brunnera weaving a green and blush tapestry. Moss-covered stones and antique benches create a fairy tale vibe that feels serene and sacred. Shade gardens are particularly loved for their cooling effect in the summer heat and their ability to soften transitions between open lawns and dense woodland. These spaces whisper rather than shout, and their calmness balances the exuberance of sunlit beds. In Mackinac's cottage gardens, the details matter just as much as the blooms. Fences are often painted in creams, pale greens, or antique whites, softened with vines like clematis or morning glory. Wrought iron gates, decorative finials, and hand-painted signs saying "Welcome" or "Be friendly" are common and deeply personal touches. These elements add structure while contributing to the garden's whimsical narrative. Gardeners here think of the space as a living storybook, and every gate or post is a punctuation mark. The result is a deeply immersive experience that delights the senses and sparks imagination. Tucked between blooms and borders are pockets of edible delight, herb beds and tiny kitchen gardens that blend seamlessly with the floral landscape. Lavender, rosemary, thyme, and sage nestle beside daisies and cosmos, offering both beauty and utility. Mackinac gardeners love adding these scents to porches and patios, using vintage troughs or upcycled drawers for planting. Some even line their walkways with strawberries or interplant chives with marigolds for companion planting benefits. These edible corners offer inspiration for anyone who wants to combine ornamental and practical gardening in small spaces. To truly appreciate Mackinac's cottage gardens, it helps to experience them at different times of the day. In the morning, soft sunlight filters through mist, casting a dreamlike glow on dew-drenched petals. By noon, the gardens burst with energy, buzzing with bees in full bloom. And come evening, golden light slants through foliage, creating magical shadows and floral silhouettes. Many gardeners choose planting schemes with this rhythm in mind, placing white and pastel flowers in twilight zones to catch the last light. These temporal layers make every hour in a Mackinac garden feel like a chapter in a love letter to nature. And that brings us to the end of our vintage summer bloom walkthrough here on Mackinac Island's dreamy cottage gardens. I hope you found inspiration, delight, and a little magic in every frame. From painted arbors to peony paths, this island offers timeless ideas for anyone who loves romantic and overflowing garden design. Whether you're working with a tiny patch or a full backyard, you can bring a bit of this vintage charm to your own space. Be sure to subscribe to Thyme for Gardening for more seasonal tours, small garden tips, and inspiring flower stories. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment about your favorite garden moment from today's tour. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy gardening!